You're listening to Nothing Important.
All you people that listen to It's All Good, Man, and Nothing Important. So that's our new rumor that we're starting is Jonathan Banks is Banksy.
Please enjoy the show.
That's good. That works.
This is the Nothing Important podcast. My name is Brian, and with me, as always, is Dave. Dave, how you doing, my friend?
Feeling saucy.
And, of course, we got Jeff on the third mic. Third mic, Jeff, how you doing?
Anxious.
Anxious. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Kind of an interesting time in your life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
I decided to renew my subscription to Homeowners Monthly. I was really debating that, and my Norton antivirus renewed today. So,
those are both very heavy decisions, because with the magazine, the problem with the magazine is that now most magazines are bi-monthly. They come out every other month, and you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it to pay the same price of a subscription for basically half of the issues?
Right.
Of the same magazine. And I can see, if you got to make a game time decision, how do you justify that?
I mean, it's about the content of the articles, and I will say that, we're kind of impressed here at the house. So, that's how I did that. And, the Norton thing, it just kind of auto-renewed, and I'm just going to fight it, whatever. It's just that thing.
Do you want malware?
What?
Do you want malware? Is that what's going on?
Well, I've got malware bytes, and the computer that I use for my pornography is not this one that has the Norton on it. So, that's got like those three different things that are on it to double check and keep my stuff private, VPN and whatnot.
Right, and you don't want to lose like hard drive porn, because hard drive porn is like the modern day. It's like the modern day magazine stash, right? Because everything streams online and it's so easy to get.
It's the modern day tool shed in your dad's garage.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's a digital tool shed.
That's why I keep all my download porn on like a zip drive that I can carry with me, just in case.
Just in case.
I travel for work.
Like an old zip drive, like the actual disc, like a zip disc.
I think he uses on a 3/4 inch or whatever floppy, right?
A 5 1/4,
5 1/4 floppy.
3.5.
That's right.
I just if you walk into my garage, it looks like there's just a bunch of USBs hanging from the ceiling.
It's organized by category.
It's like Christmas. Yeah, it's by color. So I know what the colors mean.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess I'm due to have a baby here like any minute.
How exciting for you? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Like, how are you feeling right now? See, this is like one of those game time. This is one of those game time interviews before the big football game, right?
Yeah.
So,
the answer is yes. Nervous, excited, sleep deprived already.
Nice.
Overwhelmed, underwhelmed. So I guess that averages out to regular whelmed. Yeah, I mean, it's all sorts of things going on right now in the head. So
awesome. Well, we think this is me and Kristen are super excited for you guys. I'm sure Dave. And his woman.
I'm just happy that I can share the end of your previous life with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it the other day. I will be 36 years old here in a month or two. Mm-hmm. And from 0 to 18, that's what I started college in 18.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a whole big life changer. Mm-hmm. And then this is 18 years after that. So it's like phases and shit.
Cyclical.
Watch out, 52.
Yeah. That's going to be bonerific.
Oh, 54. Wait, what?
50. It would be 52. 52.
And are you comfortable with
54.
sharing what gender you think the baby will be?
The baby hasn't chosen its gender yet, Brian.
We've decided to give it assign it binary things just for the sake of government paperwork and stuff. But after about the age of 2, once we really get a personality down, there might not be much talking. I mean, there'll be some, but then we'll let it decide its own gender.
Well, it's all subtext and nonverbal communication.
Right. So,
okay.
As is all modern parenting right now, we're just going to kind of do whatever seems popular. So,
now, are you going to breastfeed or use formula?
I personally am just going to keep eating tacos and stuff. So, I think I'll be okay.
Well, if you keep eating tacos, that'll actually help with like the breastfeeding. Like maybe you can't lactate, but
everybody knows that milk helps with spicy food.
Right, exactly. So
right.
maybe you can lactate like the juice that comes off a Taco Bell taco.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know what there's always like just a little bit of moisture there, kind of, a few dribbles out.
That reddish orange grease. You're speaking of, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, you can get your child acclimated to spicy foods, and then your wife can hop right in and, she produces natural milk. It can calm the taste buds and make sure that, the baby's mouth isn't on fire. So and you do live in a Mexican neighborhood.
Yeah. The Mexican grocery store is right down the street.
Mm-hmm. So
and it is a fantastic dining place.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm just impressed that you thought that all out in advance.
Brian, how long have we known each other? I mean, come on.
Too damn long.
Yeah. Damn near 18 years.
I was going to say, he just said 18 years. I think that was...
Damn near.
18 years. 18 years.
I like the fact that I've known Brian longer, but he's had less of an effect on my life.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Not much. Not much at all. We were roommates also, but not for quite as long as you guys were.
In case it hasn't been stated yet, today's guest on Nothing Important is going to be the one, the only Patrick Fabian, which I believe is going to be his 5th appearance on our podcast.
It's some kind of a record.
He's pulling away from Owen Benjamin for sure.
I was going to say, I think he's been on more than Jeff.
Yeah. Actually. Yeah.
Well, Owen's been on. Owen did co-host, so I don't know how many appearances that counts for. But he's only 4? Yeah, he's been on 4. So we have a new winner.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully we'll get some information from him about the upcoming season of Better Call Saul. And those of you that are listening on It's Saul Goodman, hello.
Yeah,
it's been a long ass while since Chuck killed himself, which I guess we can remind everybody that Jeff absolutely called way back before season 3 even started.
And I can verify, and I found the recording, but it's way too late to post it. I did find that lost recording of when he called it.
Just for the sake of the listeners, and I'm not bullshitting, you can tack that in at like the end of the episode or something like that.
I'll see if I can do that, actually. If I can't, then sorry for the dick tease.
I feel like it's been so long since the end of Better Call Saul that I almost feel like I forgot what happened.
Wasn't it like
it's been like 18 years?
I was saying, weren't we mid-season last year? Because it was like March 9th or something. I think it was season 3 started.
Right, and season 3 kind of started really late compared to season 2, did it not?
It's been pushed back every year. I believe it was like November, and then February, and then March, and now it's like some Game of Thrones ripoff.
Right.
So now 2019 is when it's supposed to be out, right?
They haven't written the books yet for Better Call Saul to make the show about.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm most anxious about is to see the books, because I like seeing how TV shows and movies compare to their print counterparts.
Oh, speaking of which, saw A Wrinkle in Time Sunday. Wait for video. Yeah. Wait for video.
Everybody I hear that talks about that movie. Dave. I actually met Dave last night at the arcade, and he handed my ass to me pretty well in NFL Blitz '99,
as I tend to
with
do.
with the worst team on the arcade game, and I was trying to be slick.
The Bears.
I picked, like,
no, it's the Bears.
Oh,
yeah.
They have a 0 rating for offense.
I immediately went for the team with the best stats, which is either the 49ers or the Green Bay Packers, in a sad attempt to gain some sports gaming cred over Dave, but it has yet to happen. I think I'm seriously 0 for 7 in NFL Blitz games versus Dave. Which,
so after you left, I have to tell you this, because they have the record biggest blowout for the building, or for that room is 50 points, right? So Brian's like, hey, maybe after I leave, you should try and beat it. So I did, and I lost by a touchdown. It was 20-13, and I was on the 10-yard line, ready to score when the time ran out. So I couldn't even beat the goddamn game.
I was gonna say, so you're nowhere close to the record.
And then
that's like negative record.
So I go over to NBA Jam, and I was like, I'm going to play me some NBA Jam.
It was a record for a person who wasn't the closest.
That was my favorite part. I go over and play NBA Jam. I played 4 games. I lost by 1 point. I lost by 2 points. I lost by 1 point. I lost by 1 point. I walked up to the front counter. I was like, am I the last one here? He's like, yeah. I was like, fuck this. I'm going home. I was like, shut it down. That was the last one.
Shut it down. Trying to beat NBA Jam.
I got mad. I was like yelling at myself because NBA Jam could have beat me by 1 point. So there will be a day where I go at like 9 o'clock in the morning and I don't leave until I beat all 27 teams.
That's the thing about arcade games is they could be very humbling, right? Because you go home and you play on well, back then when they actually they used to port arcade games to the machines at home, like Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and PlayStation. And then at some point, those machines started outpacing in raw power the arcades. So now like arcade games that come out are basically inferior to whatever you have in your house. But games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, you'd sit at home, you play, think you were king shit. But then when you get on a joystick with buttons,
it's
like,
a whole different ball
you don't
game.
know anything.
Yeah.
I'm a perfect example of that. Because on Nintendo 64, NFL Blitz 99, I'm pretty damn good. And Dave can attest, in the arcade, NFL Blitz 99, I have trouble figuring out how the turbo button works.
I could never make the conversion, and I don't know why, from computer first-person shooters, like Quake and stuff back in the day, to when it was on console and having to use a controller for it.
Really?
I still can't do it. I could play GoldenEye pretty decently, but when it came to anything else after that, no, I'm complete garbage. I might as well have 6 thumbs on and be playing with my feet.
I couldn't handle when they switched the controls. Like GoldenEye had a certain set of controls in Perfect Dark, and then when Halo came out and they had a different control system, I couldn't handle it, and that's when I gave up on first-person shooters.
Right, same here. So the dual stick, right? The dual, because one's to run and strafe, and the other is to aim your gun.
Right.
And I think GoldenEye was the last game where it was a single stick control, and if you wanted to zoom in, you had to hold a trigger button, and then your guy stood still. There was no such thing as strafing unless the game had a specific strafe button.
Yeah, there was.
The strafe was a trigger button, and then left and right turned, and that's what you're supposed to do. And now it's like left and right strafes, and that's when I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, where's my strafe button? I want to walk forward and strafe at the same time. That's how I beat people in GoldenEye.
Also, get off my lawn.
Also, get off my lawn.
Yes.
Yeah, the next time that ball comes over the fence, it's mine.
I'm going to shoot it with a golden gun, and you.
Proximity mines in the temple, my friend. Proximity mines in the temple.
Ah, yes, proximity mines.
No, I always like proximity mines in the stacks. The stacks was the one with the bathroom.
Oh, God. I avoided that one at all costs.
Where you fall out of the vent into the toilet stall?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, man. Or if you're a real man, slappers only.
Oh God. One shot kill slappers only.
Yeah, that's how the men play.
I believe we had a drinking game based on that at one point.
I believe everybody who played that game had a drinking game based on that at one point. It was just such a great party game.
It was.
And now everybody takes it so serious. It used to be fun just to talk shit. Oh, and also Golden Gun, because fuck that whole like shooting somebody 10 times to deplete their health meter.
Yeah, Golden 44s.
Yeah, anything Golden Gun or one hit only. That's the only true way to play. I watched my brother-in-law play Call of Duty, and it's so far out of my league, and he's on his headphones and he's really into it.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at strangers over the internet. And
strangers that are honestly 4 times younger than he is.
Right.
Right.
Well, now the kids are swatting each other.
Yeah. Dude killed a guy.
The guy, it was a random address. The guy's like,
lay low for a while.
Yeah. Some innocent guy gets
tried.
shot because little kids can't handle Call of Duty.
Right. But I just find that weird that you would want to talk to people, because back in the day when you'd play Doom online over a modem, so I guess it wasn't even online. When you do that, I like the fact that it had a text box, and you could just type a quick text.
But I went to LAN parties. I was one of those kids in high school.
I did for Warcraft, but
we had
not
a place
for shooters.
here. We had a place here in town that's what it was. It was a LAN. That's what the business was. It had like 12 computers, all hooked together, and you paid by the hour or you paid overnight, and you got to stay there overnight and play to your heart's content.
It was like D&D Comics or something, wasn't it? Downtown Normal.
No, that downtown. If it was downtown Normal, it was Siberia.
The actual country of Siberia.
Yes, it was always cold as hell in there.
The United States of Siberia.
Yes. The thing about LAN parties, though, is again, are you talking over a headphone or are you yelling to somebody across the room?
You're all in the same room.
Yeah, you're across the room, man.
See, that's my point. That's part of the fun. That's no different than yelling across the house at a party.
It's literally the same thing.
It is. Yeah. Yes. It is the exact.
You are yelling across
thing.
the house at a party. Yeah.
Right.
A LAN party.
That's what I said. Right. It's right.
Yeah.
It's no different from that. But the Call of Duty shit where people put on their headphones and they just talk to some random person online, I find that so weird.
I do too, honestly.
I don't want any part of that. No. And then it's weird when people are like, "Oh man, I was playing Call of Duty and I talked so much shit." It's like, what? What? I'm just saying, what are you doing when the highlight of your night is talking shit to a teenager?
Yeah, I was saying it was weird. Like the first time I heard a 40-year-old talking shit to a 12-year-old, I was like, "This is not cool, man."
Which, to be fair, is probably not like a 12-year-old because, if my brother-in-law, who's the same age as I am, is sitting there late at night playing Call of Duty, I guarantee there's millions of other people his age playing Call of Duty. But the fact remains, like, I wouldn't just call a random guy up and be like, "Yo, bro, you suck," and then just start conversations with him. No less the whole weird thing where they actually could put together a strategy and they start getting really intense and talking.
Well, I was gonna say that's part of it though too. Is some of these games are so intense and they're so into it that it's necessary to verbally communicate because they have organized strikes and stuff. Leroy Jenkins and all that. So it's just a shame that it gets devolved. It's like anything; it always devolves into base shit talking.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. I go full Leroy Jenkins on that shit. I just run in and kill anything that moves.
Or get killed immediately, which I think is what happened to his whole mission.
I play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played Fortnite? It's very similar, except for the whole concept is it's every man for himself. You play in 100-man games, and basically it's last man standing wins, and your little playing area is an island, and every so many minutes the wall closes in, forcing everybody to either die or to move towards the center, so it forces the action.
Oh, nice. That'd be fun.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's called Fortnite. It's super, 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 super popular. Like, it's crazy. It's probably the hottest game going right now.
I've heard of it. One of the people I work with was talking about how his kid spent all of his birthday money that he got from everybody, which was like $100 if you include the GameStop game cards that he got,
all
on clothes to wear in Fortnite.
Yeah,
Like $100.
Like virtual clothes, not like clothes to wear while he's playing it, but clothes his character wears in the game.
Correct. Virtual clothes for a game.
Because it's a free game, and that's how it works. Is you pay real money for bullshit in the game.
Freemium, dude.
If you don't, it randomly makes a character for you as you drop into the game. You know what I mean? So like one chick,
I would name him
like a black chick. One time you could be like a strong man. You know what I mean? It randomly, unless you buy shit, and then you can customize your guy.
I would just name him Rando Calrissian and roll with it, man.
Yeah, Rando Calrissian. Yes.
And you drop in, you like parachute in, you jump off a bus that's suspended from a hot air balloon, and you dive into the game.
Okay.
And the whole point is you either hide or kill, and then you get a screen that just says congratulations, like congratulations, you did okay. So like the beauty of it is though, is everybody is so gung-ho to kill other people that whenever I jump out of the bus suspended from a hot air balloon, I float to the ground as long as possible. I take as long of a time, because you can push a button and the kind of like skydive, like shoot down, like air dive,
Right.
But no, I just float on the wind, and you'll come up within the top 50 before you hit the ground. Because there's people that shoot right to the ground to find the weapons and then start pegging off people in the parachutes.
Right.
And then there's people that kind of like float a little slower and try to get more of a strategic position. I just try to float as slow as possible, so I'm the last one on the ground. And then while they're targeting people below me, I can go off to like some weird side of the island. And basically, I try to stay next to the storm wall. That's like closing in. And pretty much, for me, it's not a game so much as killing other people as it is amusing just to not get caught running around being the asshole who can make it into the top half of the game by pretty much doing nothing.
Question. Are you invincible while descending, or are you always vulnerable?
No, you're always vulnerable.
Okay.
But the key to it is everybody tries to go for the really good. There's buildings and caves. Everybody tries to go for the optimal spot to land.
Right.
I just hang back and watch where everybody goes, and then I try to go the farthest away that I can still beat the wall that crushes everybody in. And you get points or something for that. I don't know, but people take it super seriously, and I guess to round it all up, I can't take that shit that serious.
No, I've never really played an MMORPG of any kind, or any kind of.
It's coming out for cell phones even.
Yeah,
and they have cross-network play, which means that on your cell phone you'll be playing against people who are playing on Xbox and PlayStation and
Whoa! I'm not really that excited about it.
Right, but like what a terrible disadvantage, because you were talking about the mouse. How the hell is somebody with a touchscreen phone going to compete
Bluetooth baby
against some guy who's really
Bluetooth mouse or touchpad?
Or and you can connect a controller to the bottom of your to your phone.
You screen mirror that shit on your TV
true.
and you're good to go, man.
You just adapt the shit out of it. Just adapter on adapter.
Yeah. Get off my lawn. There's ways around it.
Yeah.
I hope Patrick Fabian calls soon. It's funny how he kind of just agreed to be on. I've had two phones. One that I used for 8 months because I broke the phone before that. And instead of throwing it away or trading it in, it sat in a drawer. And then I broke the interim phone that I used for 8 months. And it was one of those deals where I was like, you know what? Maybe if for some reason, if I plug that phone in, it'll just miraculously work again.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it didn't work for like the last 2 months I used it. Something about sitting in a junk drawer and like having like hammers and nails and like old batteries and shit lay on top of it for 2 months miraculously fixed the phone.
Well, the other tools all pressured him into it. They're like, dude, you're just sitting around doing nothing.
It's like an old Japanese monk that just goes off into the forest.
Mm-hmm.
If it can sit in that solitude, it can, have a montage play with it while it trains and it, thinks and meditates and stuff, and then it comes out and it'll, kill a bad guy.
Kill Bill 2 is running
Right.
through my head right now.
Right. So
Same with a phone.
I text. Understood. Thank you for educating.
Yes.
So months before I broke that phone that I'm currently using now, I text Patrick and I was just like, hey, Patrick, we're always down to gig gab with the PFAB. And just like last week, he finally texted me back. It was like, oh shit, how long is it going to take me to get a hold of you? So I wonder how long, like, the little notification on his phone has sat at 1 or at least 1 on his text messages, and I'm sure he's a busy guy.
I'm pretty
So
sure it sat at
was,
like 55, and you were at the bottom of the list, and he finally had time to go through
Right,
all
like-
of them.
Right.
like,
That's the more likely
many-
scenario. Or he saw it come through and was like, what the fuck? Oh, whatever. And then hit mark as read. He didn't even open it. He just hit mark as read and it went away.
like, why? Yeah, he's like, why do I even talk to these idiots?
He's the one that agrees to come on. All we do is ask.
Right.
And then he does more talking than we do, which is awesome.
Yeah, well.
Well,
so
as
makes
we can
Gig Gab
tell,
with the-
yeah, it's Jib Jab with PFAB or Gib Gab. And also, you can tell how well that would go over if you listen to the last 3 episodes that we've had as far as our banter.
I'll say right now it's just jib jab about PFAB.
I could talk about that dreamy man for days.
Oh, man.
Hold
Did you
on,
see
that
the way
might
he...
actually be him.
Yeah, you remember things sometimes. I was
Yeah.
there for a second.
Hey, how you doing, Patrick?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing well, thank you.
Right, and just for the record, this is like your 5th time chatting with us, so you should know that we're not very good at this.
No, that's not true. I think collectively, our collective strength is better than our individual strengths, which is fun, ultimately.
That's right.
It's
Okay,
like fun, it's
I
like
can go
funk
with
music.
that.
You know, every part of
Or
funk
like-
music it sucks, but together it makes something good.
or like Voltron, because nobody wants to be
There
the
you go.
yellow or the red tiger, but together when they get with the black and yellow and green tiger, it's pretty badass.
Right.
Wow, I'll take. We should get patches and become a gang. We can put them sew them on our jean jackets. How about that?
Oh man, that'd
That
be
sounds
great.
amazing. That sounds amazing.
Podcast.
We could
Voltron.
hell yeah, we could like storm the studio of some Walking Dead podcast because it's also on AMC.
sing barbershop.
Throw a rock. Throw a rock and you're going to hit a Walking Dead podcast, for God's sake. That's like a podcast.
But then we have to
It
learn.
is. It's amazing how many of
Then we have to
how
learn.
many of them there are.
If we just want to talk about the Walking Dead tonight, maybe we should do that instead. I don't know. It was,
I am so far behind on that show. Are you a Walking Dead guy?
no, I say that as if I can actually talk about it. I can't. I've missed, let's see, all of it. I've missed all of it. I watched the pilot, I think. And, again, I got small kids, and so that's kind of like living with The Walking Dead already. So
Sure.
It's been 7 or 8 years of people eating one another and blowing people up, and I totally get the vibe. It's not my thing. Although one of my favorite movies was 28 Days Later. I thought that was horrific. It was
Yeah.
like the best zombie film ever.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I don't know. If you're gonna have too many characters got killed real fast, and so you don't get a chance to really, lay in with who am I rooting for? I guess I'm rooting for Andrew Lincoln, who's the richest zombie killer on the planet. So good for him, his wonderful life and all of his progeny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of zombies and little kids, Third Mike Jeff is actually about to have a kid at literally any minute now.
Yeah,
Wow!
I'm just
Congratulations.
kind of hanging out. Thank you. Thanks.
Now wait, is this your first one?
This will be number 1, yes.
Oh wow! Well then the feelings you're having right now, the way you look at the world right now, is the last time it'll ever look like that. Good for you. It all changes. It all completely changes, and I can't say it's necessarily good or bad. It just does. And wow, you're gonna be a dad like every day of the year for the rest of your life. Good for you.
I know.
I know. It is a crazy, crazy change.
True to form, he's spending it on a podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
This
you
is
know what?
my last
The
moments.
your wife and your child need to know how you prioritize things. That's important because lack of clarity will only confuse them. But if they know where their positions are, then they're fine. They can be happy in their work. Right?
That makes perfect sense. I love the fact that I get to get life and parenting advice from Patrick Fabian just days before becoming a father. This is amazing, actually. So yeah.
Well, ask me how my kids are doing.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
How are your kids doing?
Oh, I have no fucking idea, man. I'm in Whipping Albuquerque, so.
See, Patrick is a true professional. You like that? He set you up and he brought you right back into why he's here. You see that? True professional.
I feel like I'm a writer now. That's good.
Yeah.
So Patrick, you're filming season 4 of Better Call Saul. When is that shit gonna come out, man? It feels like forever since we've been able to watch you on the screen.
It's taken a while, and I apologize for that. And the thing is, it's funny. You think after 4 seasons, Sony and AMC would, maybe just run some ideas by me or some decisions before they actually make them. They don't. So what I did was I waited for the phone call as well. I think what happened, honestly, I think a lot of the writing staff basically had come from Breaking Bad. They were right into Better Call Saul. They burned off 3 seasons of that. And they just took a little breather. And then when they took a breather and we lost a month or two, and then a decision, I think a practical decision of why start production in December only to stop it for a couple of weeks. And let's just start fresh in January. So as of right now, as far as I know, season 4 will come sometime, midsummer most likely, which is a long layoff, I know, but I think then we'll be back on the schedule and hopefully the rest of the run, however that long run may be, will be in a more timely fashion. But I equally was waiting to come back to work as well. But I can say this right out of the gate, so I'll repeat at the end as well.
Okay.
It's worth the wait. We're only 5 episodes into the new season, and I can tell you that things get going.
Ooh.
Things be happening on Better Call Saul. So I think people are going to be very excited about what happens.
Yeah, it's we get a lot of tweets and emails and stuff like that, and people act like we have some sort of insight on the show, and I'm like, I don't know. I only know what PFAB tells me. So
and PFAB literally is staring at the phone, going ring, ring. So my honestly, I was on it feels like, oh, I was just here a year ago, and I was, and it feels like. I just saw you last week, even though it's been a whole year, and I want to ask all the wrong questions, like what's happening to Howard, what's going on. And the writers are still like sphinxes. Right. They're just like, here's this week's episode. Let's do that one first. And of course, you get that, and you start to really get paranoid. You're like, well, I mean, we saw what happened with last season. What's going on? So,
I'm curious, how much of a secret was the ending of the season? When did you find out? Like as it aired, or did you have any idea how it was going to end?
No, we did know, but we didn't know till late in the game. As a matter of fact, Michael McKean, I know, didn't really get a call, and he did get a call, maybe about 2 episodes out. So it was pretty much a secret, and well, I think also because the writers of the secret. And I'm not sure they were sure about exactly what it was going to be or how it was going to be. And then once they decided, then they went wholehearted. We talked to Peter Gould about it as well after we filmed it. They're like, well, what can we say after this airs? And he's made no bones about it. He's like, look, we're not trying to jerk our fans around or all. What you saw at the end is what you saw, okay. And that's a finality. That's Chuck burning up in the house. There's no 2 ways around that. Because, everybody started thinking about like, oh, we're going to open up with, the ambulance, and all of a sudden Chuck, burnt but coming out. And they're like, no, that's not our intention. We want that to be really clear. So anybody is holding on to that, thinking about a cliffhanger, they will be sorely disappointed when they watch, the first episode.
Right. So like after you film okay, so let me say this. So when I go on vacation from work, I come back and I feel like I know absolutely nothing, even though I've worked there for years.
Right.
Is it? And, you're doing other characters and other projects and in your downtime and, sometimes even while you're involved with Better Call Saul. So coming back, and you're stepping on the set for the first time. Do you feel like it takes a long time to reconnect with people, and or is it just like muscle memory and you just hop right back in?
This is weird and lazy, but it's true. The suit is a big help. I don't wear a suit like that anywhere else in the world, and when I put that suit on, all of a sudden I start to feel, Hamlin's sphincter puckers up a little bit. All of a sudden he gets a little snooty and all that sort of thing. So that really helps. And also at this point, the writers, of course, have been writing for me, right? They write to my strengths. They write to the character strengths that we've been able to discover together as Hamlin. And so that helps as well. So, and then it's that weird thing of like, Kim Wexler and Ray and I were just talking the other day. It just feels like, oh, I just saw you last week. Here we are again. And you sort of do fall back into it. The only thing that gets scary, and it does get scary, that's from an actor perspective. All of a sudden you get the script, you're like, do I know how to do this anymore? Do I remember how to do this? and to your original point, there is a bit of like, why am I saying this? Because you kind of forget. I mean, we're in the goddamn thing, and sometimes I'm like, what's going on? And then I got to go back and look. And I'm like, oh, right, the last time I saw you, this was going on. That's why I'm saying this now. So we do a lot of homework to put together, sort of reminding ourselves what the connective tissue is.
Sure.
Well, how far out of order do you film? I mean, is it like an episode obviously films out of order, scene by scene, but do you film episodes out of order as well, or parts of episodes as they're going along?
Those follow in sequence, without a doubt.
Okay.
Those follow. So the season is always filmed in sequence, but you're right, within the actual episode, things are always monkeyed around with. And as you know, our show loves to play with time, so there's flashbacks and stuff.
Exactly.
So that gets weird as well, because all of a sudden everyone's looking younger or wearing longer hair or whatever's going on, and then you have to remind yourself, right, there's information that we don't know when we're in the past, and we can't pretend we know what's going on, and that gets to be tricky too. You have to sort of like not dumb yourself down, but carve yourself away from what you already know.
Right.
I think Ray Seahorn is the best at that. Ray is really good about knowing where we are on the timeline of Better Call Saul. And so basically, like any good actor, I don't do my homework and I rely on Ray doing it first.
Very nice.
So thankfully, she does, and that makes it better for me.
Nice. Excellent strategy.
Yeah.
That's how I am with the
on a
podcast
scale
with Brian. I just let Brian do all the work, and I get some kickback from it.
It works. It's good that way. That's a symbiotic relationship. You need to discover that. Good for you.
That's right. Yeah, I'm more of the hippopotamus, and Dave would be the tick bird on the back of my neck.
What is the name of the tick bird? Is it called a tick bird? Is that what it is?
I think it's just a tick bird. I'm not sure. I would have to call up Mrs. Corp from Stevens Middle School in Wilmington, Illinois, and ask her, because that's the only thing I remember. That's the only thing I remember from her 6th grade science class.
I remember sharks and lampreys. That's all I remember.
So, Patrick, super important question. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you were Jonathan Banks, how many times would you have already called us by now over the past 4 years?
Oh, well, if I was Jay, I would have called you at least 6 or 7 times. So it would be 8. 8, absolutely. Here's the thing about Jonathan Banks. True story, today, we were supposed to get together after I got upset. We were going to have some dinner. He was shooting a splinter unit. He was somewhere else shooting, and I was shooting somewhere else. And so he gets done at 2 o'clock. So he's done. He's ready to feed. He's ready to go up. Mm-hmm. So he starts texting me, "Where are you? I'm done. Where are you? I'm done." I'm usually on set working, so I text him back. I'm like, I'm still working. We haven't gone to lunch yet. He writes back. He goes, "Unacceptable." And I'm like, all right, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm like, Jonathan, I'm working on the show. So he texts me. He badgers me for another hour with texting, and I'm like, Jonathan, I'm doing my job. I'm actually working. And he goes, "Whatever. You need to learn to prioritize your life, Fabian. Call me tomorrow." So that's it. Boom. Door shut. and yet I take that and I know that, oh, Jonathan's my friend. That's all right. That's how he treats me, and that's okay. So I'm going to see him for lunch tomorrow. I suppose, at his convenience as usual. So, is he going to call you? I don't know, but I'm going to see if I can get him to record something for you that I can send to you. That's my first bit. I'm going to try and do that.
Oh,
I'm going to try and record him and I with me trying to encourage him to talk to you guys, and maybe you can use that.
Oh,
That'd
absolutely.
be great. That'd be so
Okay.
great.
Although I don't know, your impression of him was so spot on. I'm not even sure we really need to talk to him now.
Yeah,
as long as you just
If you want me to hang up, I bet you I could get Jonathan Banks to call you like in 30 seconds. How about that?
I was gonna say, the recording won't be of actually Jonathan Banks. It'll be of Patrick Fabian imitating him. But we'll take it. Yeah, absolutely. Our fans won't know.
Oh, good. So what?
So what time is it now? You're out in Arizona, or no, New Mexico. You're out in New Mexico.
It's 8:30. We had a full day of interview. Very good script written by Jennifer Hutchinson, and with the midway point, literally. So it's been cold. It's been nutty. We've been doing night shoots, day shoots, in the wind and the rain and the snow, but everyone's in good spirits. Everyone's really psyched about what's going on. And then halfway point, of course, even though the crew has worked very hard, and many of the actors are too, but the crew especially starts to break around now. They've got a good wind behind them. They're very excited, very, very excited. And, we are too. And by the way, this midsummer deadline for when they may air, I don't know. They might air it earlier. I have no idea. I don't know what they're thinking. I think it's just that idea of, since it's not network,
Right.
it doesn't have to go whenever it goes. People consume it so differently now that they sort of assume that, I think the audiences, particularly with Netflix worldwide, will be there and they'll eat it whenever it gets out. So,
Well, frustrating thing on my
Ray
end.
and I want to do. Go ahead.
I would say the frustrating thing on my end with Netflix, which I know you have nothing to do with, is that in America they don't air this previous season until like a month or a week before the next season's going to start. So we're waiting. We don't even get season 3 on Netflix until they announce a release.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was talking about the ending of 3 with you guys in this, I know there's somebody who's going to listen to the podcast who's been waiting, who doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
And that's the weirdest thing for both you and for me, to try to talk around the show for fear of ruining it for somebody who is watching it the way most people watch it.
Right.
Which is they wait for Netflix.
Oh, so then I guess we should throw this in. Spoilers for last season 20 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I think I said before about the fire and all that. That's nonsense. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's going to be fine. Right. Bobby was just in the shower, and he's not dead at all. So enjoy your next season of Dallas.
All right. Well, Patrick, absolutely awesome talking with you. Again, always an open invitation for any of our shenanigans and tomfoolery. I'd say so far you're our best interview this year. That's because let
me guess. Am I your only interview so far this year?
No. I can say we probably didn't impress Bruce Campbell one bit.
That's Uncle Brucey. He's a tough sell, isn't he? He's a tough. He's with the crack.
Yeah, he's nice though. He rolled with the punches and kind of gave us some shit, and I like him. He doesn't take himself too serious at all, it seems. So he's a great guy. And
I did an episode of Burn Notice with him, and I have to say he was everything I wanted him to be. Both as an actor and as a character, and he did not disappoint. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of how we came away from it too. We were like,
we were
like, even though it went way off the rails, that's exactly how it should have went.
But hey, before the end of the season, let's get back together again, or certainly by the time we air, let's stay in touch. All right?
Definitely,
absolutely, Patrick. Tell everybody we said hello, and hopefully you can twist Jonathan Banks' arm.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna send. I'll give you a report no matter if I fail or if I'm successful. Okay, I promise.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Patrick Fabian, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Bye.
I hope. My hope is that Jonathan Banks, because I have reached out to his representation several times.
Mm-hmm.
I have. over the past, going on 4 years now, quite a decent amount of times. I've even called their office to make a vocal request. Because, look, our people, for those of you on Nothing Important, you probably heard Patrick Fabian before, but for those of you listening to this episode on the It's All Good Man feed, it's who you people want all the time, right? Because, like, now we've pretty much ran the gamut, literally, besides Peter and Vince, we've pretty much ran the gamut of everybody on Better Call Saul, except for, Jonathan Banks. He's like a rare butterfly.
He's like
a rare
Banksy.
butterfly. He's like Banksy.
Wow.
Yes. The stencil artist.
Wow.
What if Jonathan Banks was Banksy? Oh my God.
It's the perfect cover. It's the perfect cover.
Nobody would see that coming. But the thing is, with his last name being Banks, and the artist names being Banksy, that totally fits his MO because he's hiding in plain sight, man.
Right. Much like Mike.
That is our.
Yeah.
Okay. All you people that listen to It's All Good, man, and Nothing Important. So that's our new rumor that we're starting is Jonathan Banks, the actor from a fuck ton of shit, including Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, is actually world-renowned spray paint, graffiti, and stencil artist Banksy. And you know what? Prove I'm wrong. So, big thanks to Patrick Fabian for coming on the Nothing Important podcast. Hello to everybody out there on the It's All Good Man feed. I know we've been dormant for a while, so it's nice to talk to you again, and we'll get some more folks from Better Call Saul. If you're listening on the Plumbus Among Us feed, yes, I know we haven't done the final episode. Yeah, we'll get around. We'll get around. Yeah, sooner or later. That show's not even continuing for at least another fucking year and a half. So just hold your shit. Just relax. Dave, great talking to you. Great playing video games with you at Galloping Ghost. They don't even pay us for this plug, but if you are around Brookfield, Illinois, look up Galloping Ghost. $20. All you can play literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of old school arcade games. They're open till 2 a.m. It's fantastic. Jeff, super excited for you. You're waiting for your baby to arrive.
Yeah, big ups, big papa.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for everybody out there listening. Please make sure to share the show. Please make sure to tell your friends. And please feel free to tweet or email us and let us know how dumb we really are. Dave, you can stop recording now.
Be sure to follow Nothing Important online at nothingimportantpodcast.com. Find us on iTunes, on Twitter at NotImportantPC, and you can also find us on Facebook. Nothing Important is recorded with help from Third City Sound in Joliet, Illinois. Thanks for being awesome.